Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fatu Network News Review Program. I am Fatu Kamara and I'm right here with
Omar Wali.
And thank you very much for joining us. In the program today, we will be talking to Sidin Jai, and that, of course, with the big breaking news story that we have right here about the situation in Faraba, that and Honorable OJ, the Agriculture Minister's press conference, all of that we will talk about. But first, we will start with Sidin Jai, who is right here in the studios with us. Welcome to the program, Sidi.
Thank you very much.
Well, we have seen that you've been making the news. Sidin Jai said 100% he is with President Adama Barrow. And today we're reading that Sidin Jai explains why he quit APRC. And for those who are not looking at the newspaper, I understand you said because you're related to Barrow and also he's a very humble person. But you've always been related when he just got in, right? When you went to Equatorial Guinea. What changed now?
Yeah, I have been conducting interviews or granting interviews to, I have done that to many journalists, and I explained the reason why, and I indicated in today's Standard newspaper that because, and I have been saying this for a couple of months ago, that as a result of his commitment towards nation development and his character as a person, he is very humble, and he is a man who want to see that rule of law, democracy, and good governance, and also to improve the livelihood of Gambians, and equally for people to freely express themselves in tandem with their responsibilities.
So, okay, if you say I'm with Barrow 100%, Barrow, of course, does not have a political party. He's a leader of a coalition, but his home is UDP. Would you also be a member of UDP, for instance, if UDP decide to put Barrow up for, a second term?
Barrow is an independent president and leading the coalition government, of course, comprising of various coalition partners. And being 100% an independent president who leads a coalition government, in essence, you are 100% of all coalition partners, and you want to be part of those who will guide and shape that journey towards where they want to reach for the benefits of every Gambians.
Okay, if he goes back home to UDP, would you follow him to UDP?
For me, usually, those who know me, I don't speculate. And I'm not a future teller. I don't know what will happen in the future. But what I know is I am Barrow 100%, and I'm loyal to his government and to the people of the Republic of the Gambia. And what happens next, when the time comes, we shall, inshallah.
That will happen. And Omar Wali has been talking to the UDP PRO. What did he tell you?
Yes, Almame Fandintal. I spoke to him this morning when I saw the report on the Standard newspaper. And what Fandintal told me was that UDP is an open party and all Gambians are welcome. And he also said that the former members of the APRC joined the UDP, so they have an open door policy. And he said as a national party, that is the UDP, they don't have any discrimination and everybody is welcome into UDP. Sure, that's what I got from...
So you're welcome.
Yeah, I think those are up statement for any genuine and any political party that is ready and up to the game. Because, politics is politics and diplomacy calls for, serious business, and then one could believe that your today's best friend might be your worst enemy tomorrow, or your contender. Your today's enemy could be your partner in nation building or achieving or to realize your political gains. But as I said, for me, I hailed all political parties in this country, those in the coalition as coalition partners, and those opposing the coalition, because, as I say this, people of various political parties contest in ideas. As we contest in ideas, the ultimate goals and objective is we see Gambia. The way this party A sees Gambia and the way party B might differ. But at the end of the day, all of them will tell you it's for the improvement of the socio-economic development of that particular country. And as a party, they believe that the policies and programs of that party differ from theirs, and they think theirs is the best. No. So for UDP, for APRC, GMC, GPDP, GPDC, I thank God that almost every party wants me, and I thank Allah for that. And I want to be record to say that for me, I don't play a double standard. When I'm with you, I am with you. If I'm not with you, I don't seek and hide. I'll tell you, I am not with you. So I want to commend the pair for the United Democratic Party and commend the entire UDP people, the coalition partners, and also those who were with me at the APRC as a spokesperson. I've been there for 11 years as a member of the National Executive, and also I've worked with people in our branches in the US, UK, Germany, and Europe, and those also here from Koina to Khartoum. I thank everybody.
Just before your question, I just want to tell the people that yes, we are aware of the Faraba incident, but this arrangement was made before the incident. But we do have information about that, and immediately after this interview with Sidin Jai, because he's been waiting here for a while, after his interview, we will talk about the Faraba issue and also about the press conference of the Honorable Minister for Agriculture. You
have not been explicit. You said every party wants you. What do you have that every party will scramble for Sidin Jai?
Yeah, because what's important, or the most important thing I have is loyalty. And I value that, and I am committed towards whatever I believe in. And nobody dictates my conscience. And when I always pray to Allah, whatever I'm doing, I rise to conclusion. So that any service or any assignment that I am in charge, I will do it to the best of my ability. So as such, everybody appreciated me. I know, every now and then, here and there, people you are in the same angle might see you with a different, others might criticize you, others might appreciate you. Those also on the other side of the pole you could have people who appreciate and people who criticize. But the objective and also what one needs to do is you take the constructive critics, what they are telling you, take it.
Okay, but Sidin Jai, to make this short, because we really have to go into the Faraba issue, which a lot of people are waiting to hear about. But you did say that you want to apologize to every Gambian, that is, if you wronged them. Do you think, in your opinion, that you wronged anybody?
As a human being, no man is perfect. And as I said, it's very clear, and I will repeat it. My 11 years as a national executive member of the APRC and 11 years as a politician, 10 years in parliament, either in my course as a politician or as a neighbor, as a Muslim or as relative or relations, or as we come together either to do work, if I have commended or offended anybody, for whatever reasons, knowingly or unknowingly, as a Muslim, I am bound by my religion to seek for forgiveness and to forgive. I want to sincerely and unreservedly apologize to anybody that I might have wronged over the period of 11 years, either as a politician or as a neighbor or as a relative or as we work together.
Yes, more importantly, because many people said you nearly plunged this country into a civil war.
No,
let me learn. During the political impasse, did you regret that action?
Yeah, Omar, I hear sometimes some people will say that, others will tell me, no, at the time, even those who are not APRC up to today, I have friends who are cross party lines, and they'll tell me, others will tell me, to be honest, people will say you this apologize or that, but I don't think whether you have committed any crime. You were an executive member of the party, and you are defending your party, and I've listened to all your interviews. Wherever you talked about you going to court or you do this, but you will always say that the problem will be solved peacefully. But as I said, For me, whosoever I have not wrong, or you think I've offended you in my 11 years career as
you want to apologize. So were you paid since you were minister for like 9 days? Were you paid?
Of course I was paid.
Oh, you were paid? It was not end of month.
People ask about those petty questions.
Yes.
Usually
But you were paid.
I don't respond to...
But then one thing though, Sidinjai, we're going to give that to you. You have a huge following. Like each time we write something about you, like loads of people read it. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
but you support President Barrow, and there are a lot of people saying that, the government bukataku, like, people were killed. Like today, what happened is a very serious issue. And also there is issue of corruption and all of that. If you have the opportunity to meet with him, are these some of the issues that you would want to discuss with him?
Journalist, I want to thank you. You're very intelligent. You spoke to me about the Faraba. I said, I'm not going to talk about it. And now you want to drag me to that issue.
But you are supporting the man, and now look at what is happening.
What I'm saying is I don't hold any public office.
Yes.
And I am not privy of what happened in Faraba. But nonetheless, we will try to monitor development.
Yeah, but people were killed. And that's a bad thing, because those are some of the reasons that took Jammeh out of power. People voted against him, but also his records.
You were telling me, as the Interior Minister indicated, that they will not leave any stone unturned, and they will investigate the matter. And according to what I read, that the Interior Minister said is regrettable, and no government would want to kill its own people. And that one is nobody. For me, even housefly, I cannot kill. So,
when you meet with Barrow, discuss those issues with him. I think Omar has the last question, and then we will let you go.
Before you go, you are no more in APRC. You flunk out of the university. What next for Sidinjai? And you are trying to, one can say, join the UDP, or trying to make a political headway. What next for you? No university, no APRC, and what next for Sidinjai?
I am really, me,
Can you go to the question straight? What next?
I want
as a simple answer.
I want very constructive questions, not personal. For me, I am President Barrow 100%, and I am here, and inshallah, only Allah knows what's next.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Sidinjai. We do appreciate your time. You did not want to talk on the Faraba incident because you said you don't know actually what happened. But I was trying to explain that to you one year. I think you know by now, right? You just don't want to comment.
I want to thank you sincerely.
Okay. Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time. Just to remind those who are just tuning in that this is the Fatu Network News Review with Fatu Kamara and Omar Wali. And now we're going to talk about... the Faraba incident is actually very, very unfortunate incident. It's very scary. A whole lot of Gambians are very concerned about what the future has for the Gambia after people fought to get rid of dictatorship, after people fought to get rid of the security forces killing us, after we fought to stop the security forces from arresting people, torturing them and beating them up. And here we go again. An incident happened which is scaring everyone. Omar Wali, Twitter is booming. Everyone is on Twitter talking about this incident, saying that they've started killing people. President Barrow, are you aware of this? You are becoming another Jammeh. Omar, you were able to speak to some people from Faraba. What exactly did they tell you? I know we did an interview about this issue before when the guy from the VDC was here, and also I interviewed the IGP about this issue. What did they tell you today, the people that you spoke to?
Well, when I visited the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital this afternoon, I met some people, and I spoke to somebody who was there. The first name is Mfali. And
yeah, they want you to speak louder, yes.
The incident happened this morning, and when the trucks wanted to enter into the area, that was when they opened fire, and they killed 2 people, allegedly killed 2, and 4 were wounded at the time.
Yeah.
So it's a developing story, and a few minutes ago we also received that a third person died, but we cannot confirm.
Yes, we said that.
So, but you might remember that this has been a long problem. There have been a protest in the village that the mining affects their rice fields and their farmlands, and if it continues, it's going to affect their livelihoods. So that's the whole. To cut the long story short, they barricaded the trucks, according to what they told me.
Yes.
They don't want them to enter into mining site. That was the time they opened fire. And
yeah, but then the PIU, I mean, did they have any other option? Like, it doesn't have to be firing at your own people, especially, you know, where they shot them. I mean, they could have at least something like handcuff them or use tear gas on them. But why would they kill them? I mean, I think that's just overboard.
Well, I don't think I'll be able to believe on that one because I was not there. But
yeah, but you were not there, but people were killed.
Yeah, I received so many calls and people were telling me, I think they acted high-handedly. Yeah. So, but I called the IGP, I couldn't reach him. I called the police spokesperson as well. But I understand. I
think his phone is off now. I still cannot reach him.
Well, the last time I called, the phone was ringing.
What is he saying? Did he talk to you?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I can't reach him. So actually, he's tried calling the IGP. I understand he's traveling today. I don't know if he's still going to go. He has a meeting in the United States, I understand, and that he's supposed to leave today. I called him a few times. He didn't pick, but I was able to talk to the Interior Minister, Mbalo. I actually called Mbalo, and he was in a meeting. They had a security emergency meeting, and then I called back again. He was on his phone, and then he called me back to say that, Fatu, definitely you know that no country would like to kill its own people. Mbalo said that, and he said what happened is very regrettable. This is not what we want, but one thing we know, we're going to get to the bottom of this, and whoever gave this order and the people who killed would definitely have to face the full force of the law. This is what Mbalo said, and I told him, I said, this is very unfortunate. I mean, this is something that should never have happened. I don't know if they know that these are the kind of reasons that actually got to Jammeh really hard, because definitely the Gambian people voted. But remember, in countries like Uganda, there were elections where the opposition won, but still the incumbent stayed. But the reason why Jammeh also, a lot of pressure was put on it was because of his human rights records. And now with President Barrow, we have seen all of these things coming. There is corruption allegations, and now to the extent of killing people and arresting journalists. What do you know about Pamodu Bojang as well?
Yes, according to the reports we received was that Pamodu, you know, he has been keenly following the developments in that place. He will cover the incident. And when this incident happened this morning, he was the first journalist to be on the ground. And according to the reports we received, he was arrested and detained, currently detained at Brikama Police
CID
Station.
office, yes.
So, and I spoke to the Secretary General of the Gambia President before coming on air, but he said he's putting the dots together and get us the facts. But another person said he was malhandled, but that one also cannot be confirmed. But the Gambia Press Union Secretary General is trying to get to Brikama and we will update people as soon as we get the information.
Yeah, but definitely if the government is listening, I think this is something that you really, really, really have to do. I don't know what they're going to do about this situation. I mean, it's late for the people who died, but definitely they have to get to the bottom of this. What I understand is some of these security personnel, they work during Jammeh time. So these people need to be sensitized. They have to be told how to operate in a democracy. Maybe that's what they're missing. Maybe they don't know. Because I don't know how people will be there, you know, saying, no, we're not letting these trucks go. And then I'm getting word that they said they were overpowered by the youths. That there were too many youths, they overpowered them.
That's what they say. But, you know, people's orientations are different. You oriented as a journalist and somebody oriented as security personnel. These people act on order. So, as we speak, I think we should wait and see what happened. We get to the root of the...
No, whatever. I understand what you mean. But whatever the situation is, lives were lost.
When I was conducting the interview in Banjul,
yes,
a lady walked to me and said, "Can these people fire into the air or use a rubber bullet?"
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I told her I'm reporting. I
tear gas, you know, tear gas.
All life matters. So...
Tear gas. They could have used tear gas. I don't know what happened, but...
Well, I think they will also come with their own side of the story and we'll listen.
Well, their own side of the story, what we're hearing so far is that they were overpowered. The youths were very aggressive. They were burning down trucks and they were trying to, you know, destroy the caterpillars and all these trucks. That's what happened. They were overpowered. It was not enough paramilitary, so they decided to, you know, to stop them and kill them in that process. But we do know that, they said, according to information we're getting here, the trucks and caterpillars were set on fire. This is what we got. And that 18 youths, both men and women, wounded, and they actually went to the Birkama health center, and then they moved them from there and transport them to Banjul. We understand that out of these 18, there are women as well whose legs are broken.
Yes.
They were bitten. This is the information that we're getting, allegedly bitten, and that there are a lot of women there Now we spoke to Mama Kande, and what Mama Kande said, definitely this should not have happened. This has no place in New Gambia. And he also did say, said he went to the hospital, the health center in Birkama, and saw the 18 youths lying there wounded. And there's information that 6 could also die because they're in a very critical condition.
Yes, I saw 4 of them at the accident and emergency. And but when I spoke to the PRO, he said they were not in a critical condition.
Oh, PRO said, the hospital PRO?
Yes, more Lyman Jami, the PRO.
He said they're not in any critical condition?
Those who were there at the time. So...
did you ask if that's the 18, or because they said out of the 18, 6 were in critical condition?
Okay, the other 4 I saw, they got gunshot wounds on their legs, and the other one got on the hips. So that's what I saw at the time. So what will be following?
So where is Julake in all of this? Did anybody hear from Julake, because he's the guy who has the license to mine in Faraba, but the community is saying no, we cannot let him mine here. Where is he in, or do you have any information about him? Did you hear anything about him?
For now, no. I did not hear.
No information about Julake.
Yes, hopefully he will come forward and also explain his side of the story.
Yeah. Well, a very unfortunate situation today, Monday in the Gambia. This is something that we thought would never happen in the Gambia when April 10, 11, the students were shot. And today there's another situation, an incident that really took everybody by surprise in the whole country. We had people calling each other asking, is this country safe? And others are trying to find out, don't you think Jammeh did something to this government that is, making everything go bad like this? We really have no idea if Jammeh did something or whatever it is. We don't know. But one thing I know is that the president needs to step up. He needs to do that. I don't know, whatever he's going to do, but he needs to step up and look into this. We also know that journalist Pamodu Bojang, who is the host of Member Caring on Facebook, and also I understand he has a radio license to operate a radio. Exactly. Pamodu, we understand, is arrested, and right now he is at the Birkama police station with the CID at the CID office. We're getting word that he's been tortured. We really cannot confirm that. The information we're getting is that they cannot confirm that, but we understand he's been malhandled, right?
Yeah,
that's the information that we're getting. Yeah, but we definitely cannot confirm that. But we know that as we speak right now, I got a confirmation from a security source that Pamodu is still at the Birkama police station with the CID. So we're going to come back to this, but let's go to the OJ Jallow issue. I was actually not following because I had some people around. How did this go, the press conference?
Yes, OJ, you may remember that the Fatu published an article which alleged that he benefited or profited from the sales of the expired fertilizer. And that story went viral. So today, OJ Jallow convened a press conference and he reacted. He categorically denied those allegations, saying that they were false. And he said he has been in the system for over 22 years. I got his statement here. And he said he was away on official mission when this incident happened. And he described the report as misinformation and unjustified allegation against him. And he said it has really affected his family, and he will take legal action against the Fatu because... And the press secretary at the Ministry of Agriculture, Korea also said, because the journalist who broke the news was there, and there was this push and pull as whether he verified the story before publishing. But according to Aminata, the story was published, he was informed, she was informed rather, 3 hours before the journalist published it. And she told the journalist not to publish, but the journalist went ahead and published. So that's what is happening now. So, but OJ Jallow said even the president cannot stop him from taking legal actions against the Fatu, and because he said it's defamatory, his family has been seriously disturbed by this, those within and outside the country.
Okay, and I actually contacted the Ministry of Justice to find out how far they've gone on those files, looking at them. And they did say that they're reviewing the entire facts about the issue to establish whether there was any corruption. That's what they're trying to find out. But they said they're not investigating because that's not their place. The police were the ones who investigated the issue. So the file, according to an official at the Ministry of Justice, is sent to them so that they can review it and look at what to advise the president to find out if a crime is committed or not. They said the panel was set up by the OP. So it was during that time that when the panel concluded their investigations, the file was sent to the Attorney General chambers so they can look at it and say, okay, this is what we advise. This is what happened, A, B, C, and D. And they did say that when the fertilizers got there, it was not during OJ's time, but he was there when... when
this was, according to this, fertilizer was purchased in 2009. And according to him, he was not there at the time.
Yes.
So the allegations are false, and he even challenged the Fatu to come with facts or evidence. Because he said, OJ said, even the president cannot stop him. But if Fatu produced evidence and prove that he benefited from this thing, he will resign.
Okay. Yeah, he said that. Yeah, they actually said he was in there in back in 2009, but when the contract was given to the contractor guy to dispose it of, that was during his tenure of office. So they're trying to investigate. They're trying to find that, to look at the files, review the files, and then they will tell the president, here is what we think.
Yes, and in the same issue, your name also came up because I was talking to someone yesterday. Was like you were the one pushing the Minister of Agriculture to take legal action against the Fatu because your relationship with Fatu Kamara, Fatu Ture has not been wholehearted. Is that true?
Well,
did you?
No.
Are you behind this thing?
No, what behind? Everybody who knows Fatu Kamara knows I will not be behind anything. I mean, what is stopping me? Why should I be behind? Anything I am in, I come up in the front. I'm an independent woman. I'm not scared of anything. The OJ Jallow, when this news broke, everybody was interested about it in the social media, which includes our readership. So we contacted OJ. I think the message is still here. We contacted him and say that, yeah, the message is here. I said, I called him. He never picked, and he sent a message and said, Fatu, I'm in China, but we'll be back on Sunday. I said, okay, great, no problem. I just wanted to check with allegations of corruption at your office. And OJ sent back a message and said, we'll clear the air on my return. That's the only conversation I had with him. And after that, when he got back, he called the Fatu Network and say, we're ready to do a press conference. You know, when stuff happens, my name always has to be in there because that spices it up a little bit, and that's Fatu Kamara. But definitely, I have nothing to do with this whole issue. The Care Fatu is a sister network. You know, Fatu Network has been here for how many years? So we are not threatened by anything. It's very unfortunate. I think those who said that owe me an apology. I have no business in that area. Yes. So now, how did that end? So was it clear to the press?
Well, OJ explained his side of the story, and we're waiting for him because he said. It was explicit. He came out with documents, the environment, as you can see, the letter of undertaking.
So is it cleared now? So how did you guys get off there? Are you convinced that he was not involved, or you still think there are some doubt?
Well, still now we have to dig up and see, because the one who asserts must prove. So the journalist did the publication, and he stand by what he said, but OJ insisted that his hands are clean. So this is an ongoing thing, and we will see what happens. So, but OJ said he's going to take illegal action, and I
don't think that would be because we definitely want them to start suing journalists, because if it's them today, it could be us tomorrow. Right. But one thing that I would just want to assure, because I know Gambians do that a lot, when there's a situation that people are so worried about, they start coming up with allegations, someone behind it. I think that's wrong. That's something that we need to move away from. But honestly speaking, I have absolutely nothing. I'm not even interested in that. And that story, it came out and OJ spoke. I think it's good. And we also wanted our listeners to have information about what was happening. But we definitely have nothing to do with that. We have a lot of things to do. We're just setting up now this studio. We're looking at programs to come up with. We have a huge following. Over 2.4 million last week was what our post reached. So we have a huge, how do they call it? Huge fish to fry. Okay, but now, yeah. So going back again to this Faraba incident, there is no statement by the presidency. The president actually posted something talking about him bidding farewell to some officials who are leaving for some training programs on Darfur or something.
Senegal.
Did you see the language? Did you see what people are saying to him?
No, I did not check.
Oh my God, you don't want to read that, because everyone was like, we really don't care. We want you to come out and tell us what is happening. I think the presidency should at least issue a press statement. Did you hear anything like that? They're going to come out and talk, or maybe issue a press statement or something?
For now, no, because like you spoke to the Minister of Interior, I think he's directly responsible for now.
Yeah, but the president, two of his countrymen are killed.
Yes, that's right.
So,
but,
yes, he should come out and speak.
This incident was between the police and the people of Faraba.
Yes.
So when it happens, they inform the Minister of Interior. So hopefully the Minister of Interior also will brief the President. Let's see what happens. It's just 4 p.m. in Gambia. So
but definitely.
in the evening,
even George, what's his name again? Trump. You know, when something happens, you can see him stop his engagements and do a press statement.
That is fine.
And say, this is what happened. So we're saying, I mean, that's no excuse. At least by now, the president should be out, say something, or at least maybe his office, even if it's going to be on Twitter or on Facebook, I think they should put something up. That's what I'm saying. And we have seen that on social media, there is a whole lot going on there today. Bankaman has just posted the killing of unarmed civilians in Faraba, for which there is no justification, is both barbaric and evil. We deem a quick and judicious investigation into this violation of rights and perpetrators brought to book forthwith. Our country is dangerously going towards the slippery rope. How sad. So this is what everyone is saying, and I'm sure there is a lot of posts on Facebook right now from different Gambians saying, oh my God, what is happening to our country? Are we going back to dictatorship? President Barrow, you need to start speaking up. All of that is on social media, and also about Pamodu Bojang, no to arresting and torture. There are also people talking about that. President Barrow, you made the biggest mistake ever since you didn't have Uncle Usainu Dabo as your vice president and seek advice from him on all issues. Somebody also said that. That's Max Jones. There is a whole lot of stuff on social media right now.
Usainu Dabo said he doesn't want to be vice president. He is enjoying his minister as a foreign minister. So.
I think at the time he's age 2. There was no way he could be. Because
well, that's what I put to him. I said, who chose what? Was he part of the decision making? Who selected the vice president? Why did he choose to be foreign minister, not the vice president or the speaker of the house? But he said it was the president's prerogative to decide who goes where.
Yes, it's crazy situation. But Tijan Sise also in Gambia, Tijan Masani said, flabbergasted by the events unfolding in Faraba Banta, a government's first order of business is to protect the lives of its citizens. That's what Tijan Masane also said on Facebook. You know, and someone here, Suleiman Bokarba, said OJ has put them all to shame. It was a smear campaign against OJ. That's what Suleiman Bokarsi is also saying. Like a whole lot of stuff there. And there's information right here that Pamodu Bojang has been physically assaulted by the PIU personnel. They beat him with guns. And this is what Bineta Bojang is saying on Facebook.
Yeah,
but did you confirm that he was?
Not yet. I spoke to this, like I said, the Secretary General of the Gambia Press Union, but he's yet to confirm that one.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happened before the end of the day.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get more details.
Yeah, very, 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 very sad situation. But in situations like this, I think it's important for the government to come out and speak to the people so that people know. I know they have to do an investigation, but an issue like this, definitely it should not be 24 hours without people, the citizens, hearing from the government of the Gambia. We all know, we all know that Barrow is a very calm person. We all know he's easygoing. We all know he does not want to talk. But definitely, I think it is time for him to take a look at the direction that the country is going to. Because he definitely is the president of the republic. And I said over the weekend when I wrote something that when it's good, everyone would go, yes, he's the government. But when it gets really bad, President Barrow lende atelake. You see how it goes? So we hope that he will act and do something about this situation, right? Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of information here. The police should be protecting us, not gun us down. IGP should resign. Others are also calling for the resignation of both the IGP and also the Minister of Interior, that they should leave. And when I spoke to the Minister of Interior, I put that up to him and say they're calling for a resignation. He said, Fatu, we're going to make sure that we get to the bottom of this, and by the time investigations are done, we will make sure that the law takes its course. He did say that. It does not look like anybody wants to resign here. Resignation, we don't like it.
Maybe they will also come forward tomorrow and see what happens.
Yeah, we don't do resignation, right? Africans don't do resignation. Yeah, well, we don't know who gave the order, and we also got information which I called the Army PRO to find out, but he did not get back to me about transfer of weapons from firearms from the military to the police a few days ago. But I did ask him. He said, well, I'm not aware of this, but I can find out for you. And once I know, I will let you know the information. So is there anything that you... Oh, no, wait. The situation at Morocco, at the embassy. Oh my God.
Yeah, the communication officer at the Ministry of...
From one thing to another. That's why I said, don't you think Jammeh is doing something?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think Jammeh is doing something to us. No, this all I think
Minister
Jammeh.
of Foreign Affairs is supposed to be here because I called him earlier to join us for clarification because there are so many unfounded information going around. Some said they recalled the ambassador. There were media reports, but I was with him yesterday and I asked him, he denied that. He said the ambassador is yet to be recalled. Yeah. So hopefully he might also...
No, but what he's trying to say, he called me about that issue. The man is called in for consultations. He is recalled, and now the issue he has a problem with, why did you use the word recalled? But you never even say, did he bit somebody's finger off or not? You know, they're not debating about that. They're saying, oh, he was called in for consultation, but he wasn't recalled. How about the fighting? Did that happen? Did they fight? I think this is something that they need to argue about, but they're not denying all of that.
No,
all they're denying is, why did you use the word recalled? He's called in for consultations, but he's not recalled. Really?
I wish he was
well,
here
when
to
you spoke,
clarify.
what did he tell you today?
Well, I supposed to be here, and just a few minutes ago he called, but unfortunately I cannot answer his call.
Well, I think it's better for him not to come because definitely
it's also a developing story.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, before we even get to this point of newspapers writing and people speculating, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should do a press release and say, this is what happened. You know, some guys fought, the ambassador fought with someone, and this is the situation. And then, you know, we will get the information. Sure. But you cannot sit in your office and not give people information. And when they write those information, you get mad with them. I think this is something that we need to watch. That's why, you know, with the Interior Minister today, with everything that is going through, you know, he's very stressed out today. But I called him, I couldn't reach him. He returned my call. At least that was good, because if I didn't reach him, I could say, oh, we try him, we don't know this and this. But he called back and said, oh, Fatoumata, yes, you were calling me. We spoke. So these people have to be open to the press. If there's a situation that happened, it's best for them to reach out and explain, or maybe do a press statement. But you don't want to do press statements and you don't want us to talk. I mean, that sucks. That's crazy. But yes, I guess that is what happened. The ambassador, we understand, is Ambassador Alassane Jammeh. We really don't exactly know why he did that, but the information we got is because he didn't want nobody to use the car, the official car at the embassy, and this guy used it, and then he was pissed with that, and he bit off his finger. Yeah. But also, this guy is the protocol, like really protocol at this age. I don't know why they do that, but I think maybe if he was a much younger guy, the ambassador would not have been able to beat him up. I don't know, you know. But also the sad news is about the passing of Laiba. Yeah, may his soul rest in perfect peace. We used to live on the same street in Banjul, Tobacco Road. Very, very sad situation. Jammeh's tractors are being auctioned. Tomorrow they'll be auctioned. And the TRRC commissioner selection process to start this week. I saw that by Baba Gale. And also the Muslim leaders, I understand we're talking to President Barrow about everything that happened on social media about the insults. They disapprove that and say that definitely should not happen. We've always been saying that insults have no place in social media. Definitely we get mad at each other, we get unhappy with each other, but I think what we can do is to put out whatever we want to say out there without insulting people, because that's very disrespectful and it is not the right thing to do. I've always been against it. And what I do now, you insult, I block you. You know, I'm not being a dictator, but it's just to show them that at least if you block them, they will sit down and say, oh, I did something wrong. And usually after a month or two, I will unblock them. Because, you know, if you're blocked from the Fatu Network, that's bad. Because then you have no news, right?
But that is democracy.
Yeah. Insulting people?
Of course.
Democracy?
No.
Insult?
Well, we had an argument about this thing last week or so.
With President Barrow.
Somebody insulted the president.
Barrow.
I'm not holding brief for the president.
Yes.
But you see how it is.
Yes.
Somebody insulted the president and people are trying to justify that.
No, I don't think they were trying to justify. I was here in this panel. You know what I said? No, what I said was very clear. I said nobody should insult. Everybody disapproved that and said that's wrong. But what we said was, what they need to do is sensitization. And even today, I was talking to some government officials. I told them that. I said, why don't you make use of the Civic Education Office?
But I think we have so many things to talk about and sensitizing people to behave themselves.
But that happens everywhere in the world.
No, we have a problem here. When there's elections, people don't even go and vote, like parliamentary elections.
It's all sensitization.
Yes. You cannot come and tell a 25-year-old man, don't insult.
But
we have.
See, that's where you're getting it wrong.
No.
The aim is not the 25-year-old. No, let me tell you, to change a whole generation, it takes 10 years.
Right.
So what we're trying to do right now, the younger ones are looking up to us, insulting people on social media. They would think it's right. Those kids would think it's right. But if you change the education system from now and get those people to know, you put basic civic education in that program, in about 5, 6, 10 years, it's going to be different. Nobody will be on social media insulting. And maybe if you insult your niece or your nephew could tell you, Uncle Omar, you don't do this.
I think there's no need for civic education on this.
Oh,
it has to be
don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. There is need for civic education.
No. On insulting, how to behave towards people? No.
So we don't need civic education, Omar?
I think we need civic education on other issues than you coming and telling somebody you should not insult somebody.
No, when you do basic civic education, you don't start with don't insult. There's a lot of issues. For instance, many people here don't know the difference between
home training.
But home training is also school training. You do these things at school. If you go to the Western world, people know that there are some things you cannot do because the reason why you can't do them is A, B, C, and D. But here, most of the people don't know. I mean, you talk to somebody, you get angry, and you curse them out. It's wrong. I mean, we don't have to like each other, but we should be able to, work together and live together. I don't have to like you, but at least I don't have to be mean to you. I don't have to curse you out. I don't have to insult you. That's what we're saying. You can disagree with President Barrow's programs. You can even say, I don't like President Barrow as a person. But you should not insult the president. You can criticize him. You can go out and say, President Barrow, why you this and that. You can say anything you want. You can vent all you want, but don't insult. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So see why we need basic civic education. It's important. And also for President Barrow, he can do what the Ghanaian president did. At least for the first one, he can say, okay, I'm going to let this one go. And then we know next time, if you insult him, this is what is going to happen. But at least this first one, he let it go. That's all we're saying. Is that a problem?
Barrow's prerogative. He will decide.
Yeah, but again, but also is good. You know why we have the media? Is to talk so that the executive would hear and say, maybe they were right. We could also make them change their mind sometimes, So people are asking why the unnecessary arrest that's happening in the Gambia. Why is it happening? Some people are also talking about the insult, saying it is disrespectful. It should definitely not happen. People should not be insulting others. I think that is very true. That's why I said what I do, I put you on hold. Like we put you on hold for 2 months, and after 2 months we unblock you. Then you know that you've done something wrong, and next time you will not do that again. But I guess that is all today. But a lot of talk on social media, justice for Faraba, blood on your hands, Mr. Barrow. A lot of people are saying this. So, Mr. President, we understand you're a very shy person. We know that you don't like to talk so much, but we definitely think it is important for you to come out and address the people and talk to your people and address the security. And if possible, try to get training for the security officials or personnel because they definitely need it. We also have to understand that these people were operating under dictatorship, where they thought that everything is about power. If somebody speaks, you have to beat them up. If somebody speaks, you have to shoot them. All of that, I think there's need for a huge security reform.
That's what they're working on. I think they're just doing a reform in the military, but not in the police. Mm-hmm. They're trying to downsize the military. But I think you look at what the police are saying and what is happening, kind of contradicts each other. Mm-hmm. They put up a billboard and said no corruption, no torture, and
they're beating
6
people.
months down the line.
Yeah. We went to Tanene. They alleged that they were beaten. Seriously, the guy was like, I was slapped. And from the beating, we're talking about that. I was saying on a post the last time that Gambians would not ever let this happen. Jigan Gray Johnson said, of course, it's happening. And today, from beating people up to killing people, this is very scary. Karamba said, my thoughts and prayers are with the dead and injured of Faraba. May Allah grant them Jannah. I await verified facts and demand appropriate redress. This is what Karamba Ture posted on his Facebook. And another one right here, our Sise is saying, how do you feel killing your own brothers? Subhanallah, Subohu Malen, that's what she's saying. And she said on here again, this is not the change that we fought for. I think it's very important for the Barrow government, like I said, to come out and talk about this situation. And on the OJ issue again, someone is saying, a ploy to get OJ Jallow failed disgracefully, arrest and perpetrators and bring them to books, arrest Pamodu Bojang, and he's talking about the arrest arrest of Pamudu Bojang and all of that. But I guess that is all that we have for you, unless if Omar Wale has something to add. And I don't think I have anything here for you. So it's actually 5 o'clock. So Yamanja is not going to come after me saying, you stole 30 minutes of our time. So that's all from this edition of the Fatu Network News Review. I am Fatu Kamara. And just one more time, what I want to say to the borough administration is that what we are trying to do is for you and for your own good. Remember, there was a donor event in Brussels. And of course, the EU ambassador was here, and he did talk about, upholding human rights, which is very, very important for you to receive all this money, the grants and the loans that were pledged at the donor conference. What we want to say, when you are in power, power is sweet, especially in Africa, because there are a lot of people who will be around you. Those people don't want you. What those people want is their interest. They want to be able to keep you away from everyone. But I know that the UDP has very, very, very good elders who definitely, if Barrow was talking to them, if he was open to them, a lot of things would not happen. So the selfish ones, what they would do, they will try to move you away from those people, keep you away from those people and say, no, 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 you see, these ones don't like you. Like what they tell you, no, Fatu Kamara, Woman La Fila, they don't like you. All that thing they're telling you, nobody hates you. We don't Gambians don't hate you. But the way that you're doing things is what people have a problem with. I have mentioned elders in the UDP. The reason why I mentioned them, I'm not saying they're the only elders that you can talk to, but I'm just saying these are people that you know very well. These are people that you were in the same party with. These are people that know you very well. You can open up to them. For instance, pick up a phone or, talk to lawyer Usainu Dabo, talk to Uncle Kemeseng Jammeh, talk to any of them. These are people who would definitely tell you what is best for you. Most of these people, I saw Yaya Jammeh when he was at State House. Yaya Jammeh would look at people and insult them, not like, a bad one, but use bad language against them. They would clap for him. Hey, Jammeh, hey, you funny Jammeh, billah wallah Jammeh, you funny. So if you are in power, all these things will come. Some of the people around you, I don't even think those people like you. Because with all these things that are happening, all these mistakes that are happening, Mr. President, it is time for you to go sit in a room, in a dark room. No TV, no light, nothing. Think about this whole thing. Think about everything that's happening. I saw when Jammeh used to say, A, B, C, and D is bad, people would tell him, oh no, Mr. President, can you danko fengo bebe betihari, mo lafte lale, mo lebe bloko si kaye. Hey, Mr. President, ite kaye tele jante. I am telling you, Mr. President, right now your rating is not looking good. You go on Facebook, you post your photo. It used to have 3,000 likes, 4,000 likes. Now, if you get sometimes 200, 300, 400, 500, it is not good. You talk to people about the president, they will tell you, you don't have to follow the interests of those people and get yourself messed up. It is not the right thing to do. I am saying this, we fought dictatorship, we know how it is like, and we know that you are a very humble person, and we know that you should be able to change this. You need to sit back and look at this whole situation. A lot of things are happening. You were going to the OIC. They said you are going to an OIC meeting and then go to Umrah. You went to that conference. There was no OIC meeting. You went to Umrah. All these things can be avoided. A lot of things happen. Somebody told you a bag of rice is 900. It is not 900. It is still 1,200 or 1,600. Do not rely on these people. I am speaking to you from my heart. I am saying do not rely on these people because we fought to put you there. We do not hate you. We don't want you to fail. You need to address these issues. You need to stand up to all these people who are trying to fake you for their own interest, and you speak to them from your heart. Well, good luck. They said a word to the wise is enough. Thank you very much. Until we come your way again, I am Fatu Kamara.
Now Omar Wale.
Yeah.